I'm John Hendricks. It's Wednesday, July 15th. Today, a stormy aftermath. The daunting damage spring storms are creating for a Manitoba campground. Also today, an economic nightmare.
It's a pretty big loss. It's one of the biggest events that the Chamber puts on each year.
How flooding is continuing to wreak havoc on Dauphin. Plus, a melting pot of cultures.
It's really fitting that the Folklorama, a mural that really celebrates our cultural and our diversity, is right here.
How a mural celebrating Folklorama is making a big splash. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Marilee is away. A southwestern Manitoba campground is dealing with the damaging impact of spring storms.
To happen twice in 1 year is crazy.
Assisipi Beach and Campground near Inglis is normally open from May long all the way through Thanksgiving, but it won't be opening this summer. It's nestled along the Shell River, which doubled in size and overflowed its banks after heavy rains in June and July. As a result, the campground estimates it has lost around 120 feet of land to flooding, at least 14 of its campsites, and a deck. Sand also covers large areas, including a wading pool, play structures, beach huts, and more. Campground owner Karen Goroluk is now waiting for the land to dry out so it can clean up and see what's left to rebuild.
I'm not going to put sites back down by the river, that's for sure, because there's really nowhere to put it. Because we had a parking area, we had ball games, so you could have campers and you could have parking, but now I'm not sure what we'll have left there.
The flooding also washed out nearby roads and exposed the pillars under Highway 83 bridge. Now that highway remains closed. Goroluk says that her insurance doesn't cover the flooding or loss of revenue, so she'll be looking into the province's disaster financial assistance program to help rebuild. Goroluk hopes to have the campground open once again in 2027 if they're able. Recent flooding in Dauphin hasn't just been destructive to its infrastructure, it's also been a nightmare for its economy. The Parkland Chamber Street Fair and Dance was supposed to get underway in Dauphin 2 weeks from now. For decades, it's been the kickoff to Canada's National Ukrainian Festival, an event which by itself creates millions of dollars in economic activity. But officials have been forced to cancel both of these events due to flooding, which shut down Dauphin's hospital. The Parkland Chamber of Commerce says this will be the first time in 50 years without the street festival.
It's a pretty big loss. It's one of the biggest events that the Chamber puts on each year, and it's fairly significant for us as far as our budget for the year.
The Chamber is holding out hope that it may be able to hold the event at a later date. If not, officials say that they will try and make it through the year and hope for a successful event next year. Local First Nations leaders are in Ottawa this week for the Assembly of First Nations annual general meeting. And today, they demanded an overhaul of the healthcare system, saying it's failing First Nations people and perpetuating racism.
First Nations citizens are continuing to die 11 years earlier than the average Canadian. And I want that message to ring hollow to everyone who's listening right now. First Nations people are dying 11 years earlier.
Their primary demand was a working relationship with the government to address capacity and wait times issues and to ensure culturally safe and equitable care for First Nations people. Southern Chiefs Organization Grand Chief Jerry Daniels also said that there should be advocates known as patient navigators in every hospital. Their job would be to help First Nations navigate the system and communicate their needs to healthcare workers. In a statement to CTV News, Health Minister Uzoma Azaguara says they're committed to working in partnership with First Nations leaders and Indigenous organizations to improve care and address inequities. They add, in part, that is why the province became the first in Canada to routinely collect race, ethnicity, and Indigenous identity data across the hospital system. They want to identify inequities, measure progress, and drive improvements in patient care. Firefighters were on the scene this morning in the 800 block of Alvastone Street. Around 8:30, Winnipeg Fire and Paramedic Services says it responded to the report of a fire. Crews arrived on the scene and discovered heavy black smoke coming from a house. Firefighters attacked it, and the situation was declared under control at 9:15. A burnt-out window and smoke damage was captured by our cameras. Also visible was water damage, and firefighters' hoses were still out around 10:30 a.m. No injuries were reported, and the fire is under investigation. Young people will have an easier way to keep busy this summer and maybe take up a new sport. Those people between the ages of 6 and 18 can now golf for just $5 at any city course after 5 p.m. And for 9 holes, the cost drops to just $3. It's part of Golf Canada's Youth on Course program. So to take advantage of the deal, you'll have to become a Golf Canada member at a cost of $65. A mural in the West End honoring Folklorama is taking shape. The artwork celebrates our city's rich diversity and ethno-cultural pavilions represented at the event. It's being painted by artist Mandy Van Leeuwen and is halfway done.
And this Folklorama mural is really fitting considering we are the first place that people come to when they arrive in Canada. Usually the West End is home to a whole bunch of newcomers throughout history, so it's really fitting that the Folklorama, a mural that really celebrates our cultural and our diversity, is right here in the home of the heartland in the West End.
You can check out the work in progress at 674 Sargent Avenue on the west wall of Morton's Chocolate. Taylor Brock joins us now with a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. And Taylor, after a long period of time with incredibly hot temperatures, it looks like some relief may be in sight.
That's right, Sean. We are going to be feeling some cooler temperatures tomorrow here in Winnipeg. But we also will be getting some rain at the same time, so it's kind of a give and take situation. Though when we approach the weekend, things will be bright and sunny for us. We'll talk more about that in a little bit coming up in your complete Skywatch forecast.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
Right now it is 22 degrees Celsius here in Winnipeg, feeling more like 27 with that humidity, but the cloudy sky is making things a little easier on us right now. Some very light winds with pressure dropping and humidity at 70%. Looking across Winnipeg traffic, things appear to be going relatively smoothly, but of course we are seeing some slowdowns in areas with a lot of construction, including on Portage Avenue.
Oh man, like that screams Canadian.
Flying off into history, why this will be one of the last performances by the Snowbirds for some time. WestJet's flight attendants have voted in favor of a strike. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has more.
More than 99% voted in favor of a strike, which could happen as early as August 2nd. WestJet has 4,400 flight attendants. The union that represents them says flight attendants do about 35 hours of unpaid work a month and that wages aren't keeping up with inflation. Both are issues on the table. WestJet CEO says the airline is determined to reach an agreement with workers. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.22 U.S. West Texas Intermediate up to 79.60 U.S. a barrel. Western Canadian Select is up to 64.89. And the TSX gained 95 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Canada's national men's rugby team will hit the pitch in Winnipeg on July 18th for the first time in 33 years this weekend.
We need to have all that in mind and make sure that we perform well for the supporters, and hopefully people want us as a result to come back.
This week, Coach Stephen Meehan says the squad is working to improve areas that contributed to their loss in Edmonton and using the tournament as a look ahead to next year's World Cup. They're also learning more about Winnipeg's rugby history from the lone Manitoban on the squad, Kyle Steeves.
we're all learning, more and more about the local rugby, which has been terrific, to get a better understanding of things. So we're looking forward to, obviously, to the game, as a result.
The squad and support staff have also enjoyed some local cuisine at the Red Top Drive-In. Team Canada will play Zimbabwe in the World Rugby Nations Cup on Saturday at Princess Auto Stadium. The Winnipeg Jets will hit the ice once more in a couple of months, and we now know who they'll open the season against at home. The Jets will welcome the Boston Bruins to Canada Life Centre on October 2nd. The rest of the season will be announced tomorrow afternoon. The 2026-27 regular season will be expanding to 84 games after the league added 2 more divisional games per team to the schedule. Well, the next time you grab a coffee or drink from a fast food joint, you'll be able to recycle the paper cup it comes in. Multi-Material Stewardship Manitoba, the organization that helps coordinate the province's recycling efforts, announced today that you can now start throwing those cups in blue bins. Now, they've historically been tricky to recycle due to the waterproof lining and dyes. However, the organization says they will now be sorted with mixed paper through the existing system. Now, just to be sure, though, you pour out any remaining liquid first and remove the lid, because most coffee cup lids still cannot be recycled. However, you can recycle clear plastic drink lids, which look like this. The Snowbirds have delighted another Canadian crowd as they wave goodbye for now.
Oh man, that screams Canadian.
It was something I saw growing up, and it was really important that we brought our kids out to see it too.
It was just amazing. The experience was great, everything. It's so sad that honestly the government's shutting them down.
Hundreds lined the tarmac in Saskatoon to catch what could be their final glimpse of the iconic Jets. In May, Ottawa announced the Snowbirds will be temporarily grounded after the 2026 season until the aging fleet can be replaced with new aircraft. Now, during the event, some spectators signed postcards addressed to the Prime Minister as part of a campaign to keep the Snowbirds flying. The Snowbirds will now head to Alberta for more scheduled events. A sparkling spectacle is coming to Winnipeg. We've got the details on the death-defying stunts coming up next in Spotlight. Taylor Brock has your Spotlight today, and the Big Top is coming back to Winnipeg.
That's right, John. Hold on to your hat. Cirque Italia's. Well, there you go. This works perfectly because Cirque Italia's water circus is going to make a big splash. Prepare to witness death-defying stunts, feats of acrobatics, and wild antics by performers from, not John, from Argentina, Brazil, Romania, and more. Shows are happening between July 23rd and 27th at St. Vital Centre in the circus's hard-to-miss black and white tent. More information and tickets can be found at cirqueitalia.com, and we've got John here for free.
Exactly. I charge nothing. That looks amazing, though, by the way.
It does. It really does.
Even if I can't take part in it.
You can try.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe drop by and you'll see if I'm there.
Okay.
If you like theater that's a little edgy, well, we have some good news for you.
Well, that's right, John. A beloved Winnipeg festival is starting today. It's opening night for Winnipeg Fringe Theatre Festival. The event is being put on by Royal MTC. More than 160 indoor shows are planned featuring local and international theatre companies.
There's lots of buzz in the Exchange District. That's something that I love so much about the Fringe, is getting people down into the area that I love so much, and seeing all the posters go up and everybody excited to see new shows, new art, and meet up with their community.
The fun kicks off with a slew of performances across multiple venues, and Old Market Square will host daily free entertainment with street performers and bands showing off their talents. The festival runs through July 26th. You can find schedule information and tickets at winnipegfringe.com.
Former President Joe Biden plans to publish his memoir this fall, and it's called Promise Me, America.
Actually, Little Brown and Company says the book is set for release on November 17th. It'll cover topics from the economy to Biden's decision not to seek re-election. Biden describes the book as a reflection on national challenges and his faith in America. The release comes 2 weeks after Election Day, which may concern some Democrats as they seek to regain control of Congress. Biden's health and his decision to step down are expected to be key topics.
Madonna, a.k.a. the Material Girl, a.k.a. the Queen of Pop, has inspired a comic book.
So, a.k.a. comic book inspiration, too? It's actually not the first time it's happened. It's called Female Force, Madonna, the sequel. The story will center around her various personas, covering her transformations over the course of the last decade. This is the second book from Tidal Wave Comics and comes ahead of her 68th birthday on August 16th.
That is honestly shocking to me that she's 68.
It is. I like, honestly,
She's timeless.
that's the thing. That's why we threw that one in there.
She's timeless.
That is true.
All right, thanks, Taylor.
Your primetime lineup today starts with MasterChef at 7. Following is The Rainmaker at 8. And The Rebuild inside the Montreal Canadiens is on at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV. Right now in downtown, Osborne Street, things aren't really moving. Sorry, folks. However, weather is pretty nice if you're stuck in traffic. Roll down those windows, folks. 22 degrees with that humidity, feeling more like 27. We are seeing a cloudy sky.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&Teak Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
CTV's Taylor Brock has your complete Skywatch forecast. And Taylor, we woke up to some rain, but is it now safe for people to put those umbrellas away?
Not quite, John. Although there is a risk of thunderstorms, so maybe it kind of depends on what we get. We are seeing tonight in Winnipeg a low chance of a thunderstorm. However, that chance increases as the day goes on. Early in the morning, that's going to become much more likely, and into Friday as well. We still have some heat to deal with, though, in parts of the province and northwestern Ontario. I'll move to the side here to give us another picture of what that looks like. So we are seeing, particularly in Manitoba, places like Lynn Lake, Flin Flon, and Oxford House still under this extreme heat advisory because of temperatures in the high to mid 20s. This is expected to be the end of it. And same for folks who in northwestern Ontario were dealing with some hot temperatures. Things are cooling down, and your advisory actually has just ended. Taking a look here in Winnipeg, well, it wouldn't be hard to look out your window to tell that it's quite cloudy. Those clouds are sticking around overnight with a chance of some drizzle a little earlier in the evening. However, as the early morning approaches, chance of thunderstorms, it's going to start and be actually its heaviest in southwestern Manitoba. That could reach Brandon as well very early in the morning. It's going to make its way through Manitoba as the day goes on. But by the time it gets to Winnipeg, it actually will be more likely showers than a severe thunderstorm. But there is still that risk as the system kind of pushes into our neighbors here in northwestern Ontario. But folks in Kenora don't have much to worry about. More likely scattered showers until Friday. That's when we're going to see, well, a more serious storm, and potentially bringing with it that thunder and possibly lightning. We're also going to be seeing on Friday, throughout much of the day actually, in northern Manitoba as well, that those showers and that chance of a thunderstorm. Tonight in Winnipeg, as mentioned, we could be seeing that thunderstorm with some showers, and 19 degrees is our expected low. Tomorrow morning starts off, tomorrow's high starts at its highest at 25 degrees Celsius with that chance chance of showers or possibly a thunderstorm, as we mentioned just a moment ago. Winds will pick up a bit throughout the day with gusts of up to 20 kilometers an hour. And taking a look over the next few days, as mentioned, there is that chance of some showers, even a thunderstorm over on Friday. However, a beautiful weekend's in store for us, John. 29 degrees on Saturday, sunny as well on Sunday and Saturday and Tuesday. Okay, Monday we've got to deal with a few clouds, but that's okay because I'll take it. Taking a look right now at these sky watch photos. Thanks to Addie for sending in this shot of Beausejour. She says it looks like a swan in the cloud, and I can totally see that. And this one was a morning shot from Sandra, who I'm sure there's a lot of folks quite jealous of her view today. You can send your weather photos to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Skywatch Weather Pick of the Day brought to you by Provivo, Winnipeg's first and only longevity medicine clinic. Redefining health, performance, and aesthetics. Provivo.com.
While most of the sporting world's attention was on the FIFA World Cup, the 53rd World Peashooting Championships went ahead.
Oh, it's such an honour to be a champion. You have to select your peas very carefully. They need to be very round, and you have to hold your pea shooter very steadily. That is the secret.
The English village of Whitcomb in Cambridgeshire hosted the event over the weekend. Now, the rules for the pea shooting championships state that shooters must stand 3.7 meters away from the target, which is coated with wet putty. Shooters get to shoot 5 dried peas at the target. A bullseye scores 5 points, the middle ring gets 3, and the outer ring gets 1. Now, success, of course, depends on precision, accuracy, well-rounded peas, steady puffs, and of course the wind. You know, I have to say that back in high school, or probably not high school, but back in elementary school, I would have been a champion at this event.
Oh, John, let me tell you, when I heard about this, I got so excited, I started practicing.
You're gonna go pro?
Actually, yes. I even brought a straw to the desk to show off, oh, look, that was me. I got so close to that bullseye there. Just pretend that guy's not there. I'm pretty good, John.
That was just they got you after you had done your event. Congratulations.
Yeah, live shot.
All right, well, we will be back again at 6 o'clock, and who knows, maybe Taylor will be pea shooting all of us. We'll see at 6 o'clock.